The reason you're not yet shredded, it's not that you're lacking discipline. The problem is you're probably making too many mistakes. Until you become aware of these mistakes, nothing will change for you. I have more than 8 years of experience in fitness. I coach many men, help them level up physically and mentally. But for a long period of time, I felt stuck, at least for 2 years. And on paper, I thought I was doing everything right. I was going to the gym every single day. I was waking up at 5 so I can hit the gym before work. At the time I was working as an engineer, I was meal prepping, I was eating healthy, and yet my physique was not really changing. And it was so frustrating because I was working hard for it. I was disciplined. And I thought I had to change something with my workouts, do more cardio or be more disciplined. But in fact, the real problem was with my nutrition. I was making too many mistakes. And once I became aware of these mistakes and I fixed them, I took my physique to another level. And that's why I'm making this video for you, so you won't have to do that anymore and you can actually level up physically. So I'm gonna present you the problems and give you practical solution you can be implementing right after this video, okay? So starting with mistake number 1, I call it protein loading. Always thought that eating more protein is the answer. Never tracked my protein. In my head, I was like, as long as I eat a lot of protein, I'll be good. I'll be in good shape. I'll be shredded. I'll have a lot of muscle. But it's not always true. I mean, you still need protein when you work out because it's essential to help your muscle grow and repair. But the thing is, protein has calories. And at the end of the day, if you eat more calories than you need, you're going to be storing fats. So I was making that mistake of, okay, if I eat like rib eye, if I eat a lot of eggs, if I order extra protein all the time, I'll be good. That was one of the reasons why my physique was not changing, because no matter how hard I try, I was always in a calorie surplus. And if you're in a calorie surplus, well, you're not shredding fats. So I understand that more protein is not always the answer, and what you want to do is only focusing on 1 gram per pound of body weight. So if you weigh 200 pounds, well, your protein target should be 200 grams of protein. That's simple. More is not the answer. You still need to hit the right amount. Okay? Mistakes number 2. I call them liquid bombs. Think about protein shakes. Think about smoothies. Think about like everything that you actually drink because you think it's healthy, right? How many times after your workout you just go to the protein bar and you get that massive protein shake? Because everyone is telling you after workout you immediately need to have protein, but it's not always true. And again, the same problem with liquids is you can be drinking 300 calories or 1,000 calories, you won't even feel the difference, right? Like, the same shake, I can make it with 3 tablespoons of peanut butter, with no peanut butter, like it's gonna still be a shake, but the calories will be way different. The problem with, drinking your calories or drinking your protein is not only it's always inaccurate when it comes to calories, but also it's not even satiating. So I'm gonna be drinking that protein shake after my workout, and 1 hour after I'm gonna be hungry. And again, that protein shake can be anywhere between 500 to 800 calories, and right after that I'm gonna have another meal. Do you think at the end of the day I'm gonna be in a calorie deficit? No. Okay? So that's why I don't recommend you drink your calories or drink your protein. What you want to be doing is actually eat. Real foods. What I mean by that is don't focus on drinking your calories, but actually eat them. You want to be chewing the food, okay? because 500 calories on the plate is gonna stay in your stomach way longer than just like drinking the calories. So not only you're gonna have way more control on your calories, but also it's gonna be more helpful to manage your hunger level. So start eating your food and stop drinking your calories. That's the main point. And we move on to mistake number 3. And probably a lot of you guys won't like this one. Cheat meals. You work hard during the week, you hit all of your workout, you eat clean, and then there's a weekend coming, Friday or Saturday, and you tell yourself, now I need my reward. Now I need my cheat meal. And now you forget about your discipline, you forget about your goals, and you just go to eat whatever the fuck you want. Whether it's ice cream, cookies, burgers, pizza. I mean, I've been there myself. Like, I thought that if I work hard during the week, if I do everything right, I deserve a cheat meal. But here's the thing. Your body doesn't give a fuck if it's Friday, if it's your cheat day, or whatever day of the week it is. It only understands calories in, calories out. If you eat more calories than you burn, you're gonna be storing fat. And that can be applied on a weekly basis. At the end of the week, if you're in a calorie surplus, no matter if you've been on a deficit from Monday to Friday, one day you messed up your calories, you probably don't know about it, but you can actually be in a surplus. So that cheat meal reward is a fucking scam. That's just for bodybuilders because they actually have the metabolism to flush it. Okay? You're not a bodybuilder, bro. You guy just want to be shredded. So you have to stop making that mistake and think that you just need to reward yourself with unlimited food because you've been working hard. Okay? That's not true. But again, that doesn't mean that you're not allowed to have the foods that you love. But instead of being blind about cheat meal and just eat whatever you want, you actually want to be tracking, right? So you need to hit some calories. You still have a calorie target every single day. Don't exceed that target. And the best way to stay aware of your calorie intake is by tracking your meals. So yes, can you have like a burger, for example, on Friday? Of course. But don't have like unlimited cheat meals, unlimited junk food because you think you need that, because you think you deserve it. Just track your meal. You can use any tool like MyFitnessPal or even ChatGPT can help you estimate the calories. And as long as you estimate accurately the calories from that treat and it fits your daily intake, you're gonna be good, okay? So that tool, super helpful. Track your meals, whether it's clean or cheat meal, and you're always gonna stay on track. Mistake number 4. Cutting sugar. Well, you might be wondering, well, isn't cutting sugar actually a good thing? On paper, yes. But if you're someone like me, you have like a sweet tooth, you're never gonna get rid of sugar for the rest of your life, okay? That's not really sustainable because I always think in terms of consistency long term. Remember, the best plan is the plan that you can follow 365 days, not for 3 weeks, not for 1 month, like all year long. And if for you cutting sugar is not realistic, don't try this approach for short-term results. I get it. We want to see fast results. But understand that if you go strict or hard for a short period of time and it's not sustainable, it's gonna backfire at you. So that's why when I cut sugar, I lose the weight. I deprive myself of the food that I love. I start losing some weight. And then I realize that my body craves it. I want it. So I have it back in my diet and I gain the weight. That's why you are in this cycle of yo-yo. Okay, yo-yo with your weight. You gain, you lost. You gain, you lost. That's because you're going too strict for a short period of time and you realize it's not sustainable. Okay, so don't try to fully eliminate sugar from your diet. But what you can do, and that's what I do every Friday, I allocate it to have, my treats. Yesterday, if you watch my stories, I actually had 2 cookies. Nothing wrong with that because I use what I call the 90-10 approach. And by the way, you should be using also that approach for cheat meals. The reason I call it 90-10 approach is I'm referring to 90% of the time I eat whole foods, and 10% of the time, 10% of my calories can be allocated to the foods that I love. So whether it's a cheat meal, I still have to track it and I still have to respect that boundaries. And whether it's sugar, right? What's a cookie? It's like 500 calories. If I'm someone, who can have 2,500 calories every single day, well, 500 calories from one cookie it's not gonna do anything to me. It still fit my macros and I still respecting that boundary. So don't try to eliminate sugar, but actually just become more disciplined with your diet. Have that rule in place and keep tracking your diet. If you eat 90% of the time whole foods, and you track your diet and you respect your protein intake and your calories intake every single day, you can definitely have some treats. Okay? And the last one is healthy snacks. Okay? Think anything like almonds, protein bars, dates. I thought because it's healthy, I can have that. Before my workout, I will have like a handful of almonds and 5 dates because I just tell myself it's energy for my workout. But again, same principle has liquid calories, or all of this actually, is that healthy snacks have calories. And this is the whole point of making this video actually, because I want you to realize that you still need to approach your nutrition in a way where everything is calories. There's not just like, healthy and not healthy. It has calories, okay? So even with healthy snacks, you have to be intentional. You cannot just go and have a handful of almonds because it's healthy. Same for dates, same for protein bars, right? It's not because something looks healthy on paper that you can have a limited amount of it, okay? So instead of just eating blindly healthy snacks, what I suggest is if you have someone who always have like a mid-afternoon craving and you want like, a snack, just combine protein plus fruits. Okay? Think about Greek yogurt and blueberries. Cottage cheese as well is a great protein alternative. You can even mix Greek yogurt with whey protein and have some blueberries, that extra protein. But the point is, don't just snack on healthy snacks. Don't just snack on healthy snacks because it's healthy, right? At the end of the day, you still have a protein target to meet and a calorie target to not exceed, right? This is why you want to keep tracking your food every time. Because, again, you don't want to eat more than what you're supposed to eat. Otherwise, you never shred fat. So I suggest that if you're someone you tend to have snacks, well, nothing wrong with that. You can organize your days in a way where you have like one afternoon snack, but make it at least protein and fruits. If you're someone you're good with hitting your protein with just like lunch, breakfast, and dinner, you can probably skip the protein right there and just have like a low-calorie fruits, like blueberries, for example. Be intentional with fruits as well. People think it's healthy, I can have fruits. Well, you can have fruit. You should be having fruits, but Don't just eat like 5 bananas because someone is telling you it's fruit and they're good for you, right? Still be intentional. And the reason I love to combine fruits with protein, it's because it just helps you stay fuller, okay? If you only have the fruits, I'm gonna have like the craving right after. If I combine it with protein, I can stay more time without eating. So, I'm getting lost here. Let's recap the video. The 5 mistakes that you should stop making if you want to become more shredded and what to do instead. Stop just thinking more protein is the answer, right? You actually just need to focus on eating 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight. Liquid bombs, protein shake, smoothies, right? It's packed with calories and you drink them without being aware of how much you're actually getting in your system. So instead of drinking your calories, I suggest that you eat your food. You want to be chewing because that's how you're going to stay fuller. Cheat meals, don't think you just need a cheat meal because you're working hard. You actually still need to track your calories every single day and do not exceed your calorie targets. Stop focusing on cutting sugar because it's not sustainable. If you cannot do something for 1 year, don't try to do it for 3 weeks. Instead of wanting to eliminate sugar from your diet, use what I call the 90-10 approach, where you can actually allocate 10% of your weekly calories to the things that you love, including cheat meals. And the last one, stop thinking that you can have healthy snacks because they're healthy. Everything has calories, bro. So don't go for a handful of almond or some dates because someone is telling you to eat healthy. You actually want to stay on track with your calories. And if you're someone you tend to have mid-afternoon cravings and you want a snack, go for protein option like Greek yogurt, cottages, and combine it with low-calorie fruits like blueberries. Okay? So, guys, this is the video. I can guarantee. I want you actually to drop in a comment like what of these mistakes you're actually making. And just remember, there's nothing wrong with eating protein or having a cheat meal. I just want you to be more intentional with it. That's the whole point of this video. You have to become more intentional and start to think in terms of calories, not just healthy and not healthy. Yes, you want to be eating healthy. Quality matters. But also, don't eat more than you're supposed to do, okay? And I guarantee, once you're gonna stop making these mistakes, now your workout will be paying off. And just keep in mind, if you want a personalized approach for you, that's what I do with my one-on-one coaching. There's gonna be a link for you in the bio so you can actually apply it. I connect with you and I see if you're a good fit. But in the meantime, if you need more help, connect with me and I definitely see you soon for another video.